Why is it I always come back? It's always Faris. I feel like recently every time I come back it's Faris and I'm never prepared to have to do a Faris voice first thing out of the gate. Really should have done my warm-ups. Hey there guys, my name is Nix and welcome back to Steins Gate 0. Last time, from memory, we interviewed Maho and then we watched her and Moeka just, go about their business. And I think we're still following Maho and Moeka at this point, because Faris asked us to come back because it was an emergency. Knowing Faris, I've no idea what that means, but we'll soon find out, won't we? Anyway, it's a good omen. I'm already needing water, like, first few minutes into this, so...
Welcome, both of you, Nya. Time limit approaches, but there's still time, Nya. Is everything ready, Nya? It's ready. Yes. Let us begin, Nya. This operation name is...
I was waiting for this. This I was waiting for. I heard rumors of Maho in like a panda thing, and it's like, it's as majestic as I was expecting. Also, kind of was expecting Moeka to be wearing more clothes, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, what we're calling it?
The all-night Cinderella Girls Secret Party! Shocking sleepy confessions, yeah!
Maho looks out of her depth, but then again, Moeka... You know what, she doesn't look that phased. Is anyone else coming, or is it just you three?
What's wrong, you two? You look so low energy, Nya. We don't have many chances to have a girls' night. Let's have fun, Nya. I guess we can. But I didn't think the important mission you had us was skipping dinner.
The two of them had suddenly gotten a message that Faris was having a girls' party that night. Faris asked them to skip dinner so they could have empty stomachs for the party. And both Maho and Moeka had done so.
Okay, eat whatever you want, Nya. I brought something a little pricey for the cakes and ice cream, Nya.
Faris started to rummage through the plastic convenience store bags with a smile. Holy shit, she's got Pocky. That shit's expensive, but then again, that's probably because I'm not Japanese. Normally, Faris acted like she was rich, and in fact, she was rich, so she could have easily purchased the most expensive cake that either of them had ever tasted. But she realized that the right cakes and ice cream for a party like this were the ones you got at a convenience store, and she purchased them without hesitation. Maho thought there must be one reason why the customers and maids at May Queen admired her so much. She'd been working short-staffed at May Queen since the start of the year, so it had been hard. She wasn't showing any signs of exhaustion at all.
What's wrong, Maho-nyan? Did you fall in love with Faris, Nya? I always love it when girls fall in love with me, Nya. It's not like that. Don't be so embarrassed, Nya. I'm happy to see you. I'm happy you seem to like your present too, Nya. Those panda pajamas look great on you, Nya. Just as I thought. It's not that I like them. It's just rude not to wear something that's a gift.
It's adorable. I love it. The hooded panda pajamas that Maho was wearing was a gift from Faris.
I don't mind the fact that it fits perfectly. This is definitely a child's size. You're like a little doll, so I'm sure anything would look good on you, Maho-nyan. Stop calling me that, I said. Please don't think you're going to make me wear a different pair of animal pajamas every day. Yeah? What? Mahonyan, can you read minds, yeah? How did you know I already had a week's worth lined up, yeah?
You already bought them? Just as Maho was starting to realize that Faris was toying with her. Moeka was covering her mouth with her hand and trying not to laugh. That's Moeka showing emotions number 2 on the board.
Kiryu? Moinyan?
Sorry. I didn't mean to laugh, but... I like this Moeka. She shows emotion. Maho saw Moeka smile for the first time. So this was how she smiled.
Moinyan! That smile is so cute, nya! Let me see more, nya!
Whoa, calm down, Faris. Faris's eyes sparkled in the dim light. Without warning, she leapt upon Moeka and started to tickle her sides. I always loved the sound the Japanese will use for tickle. It's hilarious. I was not expecting Yori tonight. That's just a statement. Stop it! Stop! I'm not laughing at anything else, I'm laughing at Maho's face. Maho has the best facial expressions in this game. Like, I'm not even... That's barely me exaggerating, like, just the... Like, between like this and the sleep-deprived one, and also the one where Reyes picked her up and hugged her and she looked like a rabid animal. It's just, I don't know. Something about Maho's faces are hilarious. Moeka was evidently very vulnerable to tickling. She squirmed as tears formed in her eyes as she started to gasp for air.
I feel like I'm doing something naughty, nya. Yeah.
Faris backed off as Moeka panted and gasped for breath. If there are any audio-only listeners, yeah, this sounds sus as hell, doesn't it?
It sure isn't amazing, though! Yeah.
Faris and Maho looked at each other and spoke.
An amazing rack, nya!
Someone had to say it. That's all I'm gonna say. Moeka was wearing a crimson baby doll as her pajamas. Am I meant to know what that means? I don't know what that means. All I know is that it's kinda sexy. It was the kind of adult lingerie that you could never imagine a girl like her wearing. And of course she seemed unaware of this and had seemingly only chosen it because it was easy to move around in. But with Moeka's natural proportions, she ended up looking incredibly seductive. And on top of that, when her massive breast shook as Faris tickled her, even Maho felt a little strange. Sorry. Sorry. Moeka apologized as she gasped for breath. Maho shook her head to drive away the strange feelings. Don't know whether that's jealousy or whatever, but...
Well, whatever. Okay, let's start the party.
I realized that was Maho, not Faris. Point still stands.
Okay, bring the chill drinks, nya. Tonight, no one gets any sleep, nya.
No one gets any sleep was Faris's idea of a joke. She had work early next morning. The party lasted exactly 2 hours, and they talked the whole time. Actually, Faris talked the whole time, and Maho and Moeko would occasionally answer. At most sleepovers, the girls talked about fashion and romance, maybe. Maybe. But these girls weren't interested in those things. Instead, they talked about work and their futures. It was fun to see a different side of each other as they spoke. Moeka, for instance. I'm writing a novel. For fun. She said she'd been reading one of the web novels that were popular lately and decided to write one herself. And what's more, she said it was a romance with some really steamy scenes. I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I'm surprised. Considering this is Moeka we're talking about. You know. Actually, now that I think about it, the way she thinks about FB, she could probably nail that.
Let me read it, Nya!
I still haven't even finished the first chapter. Moeka refused, but Faris and Maho made a promise to let them see it when it was finished. Faris had something surprising to say too.
I'm not going to quit being a maid, but I want to get married, Nya! I want a lot of kids, Nyan!
Yeah, like a cat. I understand. Faris had lost her family when she was young, so she wanted a big family of her own, and as soon as possible. I'm trying to work out if there's a potential... Like, if there's a potential of someone I know being the dad. Probably not in this game. It was probably going to be a very lively family. Knowing Faris, yes. Especially if she kept being a cat. For the last 30 minutes, Faris talked Maho into giving a lecture on AI research. Again. Maho gave a slightly less formal version of the interview she'd done yesterday. She talked about the framing problem, about Amadeus, and about a future where AI surpass humans. Faris was interested more in the anime Let me start that sentence again. Faris was interested in more than anime culture. She was into technology and gadgets as well, and she paid close attention to what Maho had to say. But as Maho spoke, she realized that Moeka was starting to look depressed. Kiryu? What's wrong?
You getting tired, Nya?
That's not it. I'm scared of the future. Scared of the future? Yeah. Once there's an AI that's better than humans, I think a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. I mean, she's not wrong. I'll probably be one of them. And that scares me. So that was it, Maho thought to herself. Maho had only lived with Moeka for a few days, but she started to figure out her personality. She was a very pretty girl with amazing proportions and good at her job, but Moeka seemed to think she was worthless. She thought that nobody needed her, and if something better than her appeared, they would very quickly take her place. Once that happened enough that there was no place left where she belonged, then what would happen to her? That scared her. It's okay, Kiryu.
That's right, Nya! You don't need to worry, Nya!
I don't have any special talents or smarts like you two. Anyone can take my place. Anyone can do a better job than me. I'm not as talented as you two. So what? So someone could take your place. So someone's better than you. So what? Mahonyan? There are a lot of scientists who are more talented than I am. Maybe someday the AI will invent or write a paper better than I ever could. But so what? Dr. Leskinen's lab at Victor Condria University. The nearest desk to the entrance is my seat. The door wasn't put on the right, and the window was blows through it, and you can always hear people chattering in the hallway. But it's my seat. Even if the universe itself were to end, I'm not giving that seat up to anyone. Even if a more talented scientist or a more talented AI wants it, I'm not giving it up. I won't tell you that no one can take anyone else's place. That's just a platitude. There really aren't that many jobs in society where you're truly irreplaceable. That doesn't mean you just have it. That doesn't mean you just have to. That doesn't mean you have to just hand everything over. Because I'm me, and not someone else. I am me. And it doesn't matter how talented you are. Let's say there was a biorobot that was identical to Faris, right down to the molecular level. And it could do a better job just serving you than she could. I'd still rather ask for Faris. Even if it cost me 10 times or 100 times more, I still wouldn't ask the robot. There's no real reason for this. I just want to drink the tea she makes me. That's what I'm saying. I feel like Maho can say this because of the dynamic that we've seen with her and Kurisu. Like, not to be like, yes, I'm gonna analyze this scene, but yeah, I feel like this is coming from a place in Maho's heart because of Kurisu turned up and she's a girl genius and she can do a lot of everything that she could do, arguably better, but she's still not giving up working on whatever she wants. Yeah, it's a touching moment for Maho. So, Maho was getting so emotional, she didn't even know what to say next. Everyone's just in, like, shock and awe from Maho's speech. Granted, it was a good speech. She realized that Moeka and Faris were staring at her in shock. Sorry. I just kind of... I am me. Maybe... I am. Moeka smiled a little. Calm down, Faris. Mahonyan! Daw. The next instant, Faris was on top of her, squeezing her tight. Wait! What's going on? Faris was smiling at her with dewy eyes. That was so moving, yeah! I didn't realize you loved me so much. I love you too. I'll make you tea for the rest of your life, yeah! Huh? Is that what I just said? The next few minutes were a struggle to stop Faris from rubbing her face against her cheek. That's just how Faris do. Oh, and now we're back to reality? Uh-oh. It was a interesting scene. A very good one. I liked it a lot. Even if it was, even without the Yori. Anyway, I sighed a little as I got off the train at Akihabara. Come to think of it, I've come to Akihabara 5 days in a row. New Year's was our trip to the shrine. On the second, I come to deal with the aftermath of that. And then the world line had changed. On the third, I come to check in with Maho and Moeka. On the fourth, that is, yesterday, Mayuri had invited me to a New Year's party at May Queen. I hadn't come to Akihabara every day like this since last summer. What's going on with Ferris, you think? I don't know. I can never tell what she's thinking. That was the reason I brought Mayuri to Akihabara. Basically, something bad had happened at Faris's house and she wanted my help. Did something happen to Hyojo and Moeka? Everything seemed normal when I talked to Faris yesterday. That's not true. Faris has been working really hard for the last few weeks and she's getting really tired. I figured she would be. But she never complains. No matter how hard it gets, she's always cheerful. But this time, she's actually come to you for help. I need more water before I can do the Mayuri voice. I can't. For some reason, like, going from Faris to Mayuri is the most difficult thing in the world. Because even though it's basically, like, same pitch-wise, I can just, like, spit Faris's out and it works. Whereas with Mayuri's, I kind of have to, like, hold it back. Also, there's something stuck at the back of my throat, but that's a disgusting thing that you didn't need to know. Something really bad must have happened, maybe. We decided to hurry to Faris's house. Huh? We called Faris's condo from the first floor entrance, but there was no answer. Was Kuroki not in? But at least Maho and Moeka should be. They're not answering, huh? That's strange. I tried again, but this time got a response. Hello? This is Okabe? Yes, the mistress told me. Come on up. Hmm? Mayuri and I looked at each other, shocked by the tone of his voice. Even when he came to greet us, Kuroki was too exhausted to give his usual elegant welcome.
Okabe-sama.
Master Okabe. Kuroki called my name weakly, and in the next moment he collapsed to his knees like a puppet with its strings cut.
Kuroki-san?
Kuroki? That's right. The Akiha clan is doomed. Who came and kidnapped the other three last night? Kuroki? What's wrong? Okabe, you must escape. You mustn't stay here. What happened? I don't know. I can't believe the things I've seen. Seen? What did you see? Kuroki tried to say something, but then gave up and shook his head. Then he slowly raised his arm and pointed to the end of the hallway. The guest room. In there. Is it just a shit tip from Moeka and Maho living there? What? That's where Maho and Moeka were. No, for some reason in my head I stopped them like, that didn't sound right. And then I was like, Maho and Moeka. No, that is right. That's where Maho and Moeka were. Did something happen to them? Mayuri, take care of Kuroki. Okay. I left Kuroki in Mayuri's care and ran to the guest room. The door to the guest room was shut. Hyujo! Kiryu Moeka! You alright? Either of you, answer me! Damn it! I'm coming in! What? How? How could this have happened? I couldn't believe my eyes. The scene was indescribable. I figured it was just becoming more and more of a shit tip with both of them living there. The only words I could come up with were a palace of junk. The desk and bed were still where they'd been, but everything else had changed. Books, notepads, and other strange objects were piled up to the ceiling in layers. What may have started as a temporary pile of books had become a wall that reached to the top of the room. Walls made of hundreds of books were scattered about the room, forming a small labyrinth. In some places, the path was so narrow you needed to turn sideways to get through. The light from the ceiling no longer reached the floor, so the small lights had been set up on top of the carpet. They were like torches in an underground labyrinth. Strangely, the space wasn't dirty. The result of Maho and Moeka's attempt to maximize their creative output was the construction of a labyrinth in the guest room. In a sense, it was the highest application of the principles of functional beauty. But it was still a palace of junk! Completely oblivious. Maho was humming as she typed into her keyboard. She had a big pair of headphones on. Moeka was kneeling on the carpet with her legs splayed, typing into her laptop at the low table. She too was wearing headphones. Maho saw me standing in shock at the entrance and took off her headphones.
Oh, Okabe. Hi. What?
Moeka took her earphones off too.
Hello. This room is amazing, huh?
Mayuri was so astonished she couldn't think of anything else to say. These two realize how much it took to freak out Mayuri.
What's wrong, you two?
What do you mean, what's wrong? What the hell happened to this room?
The room? Is there something strange about it?
Everything's strange about it! Wasn't like this 2 days ago.
Oh, is that it? The passage of time brings change. For things and people, and of course, rooms. What do you think? It's so much more functional this way, isn't it?
The fact that Mao didn't seem to find anything wrong with this made my head hurt.
Looks like you could go on an adventure!
For her part, Mayuri was wandering through the labyrinth, excited. There were screens to divide the different parts of the room. The screens were different colored baby doll lingerie. How many does Moeka have?
Oh, these are cute! I chose the colors when I hung them. Oh, you're right! Moeka, you got lots of grown-up underwear, huh?
Mayuri, I'm sorry, but can you leave? Can you leave before this discussion gets any more complicated?
Oh, sure.
I tried talking to Maho and Moeka, but couldn't get any useful information. When it came down to it, neither of them understood this room was as messy as you could get. Everything they needed was always within arm's reach, so the two of them thought it was a pleasant place to work and live. This was definitely the reason why Faris had come to me for help, and why Kuroki seemed to be on the verge of death. Kuroki, the Akiha's family's ultimate butler, had a policy of not letting a single speck of dust exist in a room. These two must have driven him over the edge. And that explains the terror in his eyes. He probably tried to clean the room up whenever they first started living here. Thinking back, he'd been acting strange when I came here 2 days ago. But why did Faris come to me? I don't know why she told me to bring Mayuri either.
Yushi has a brilliant idea! Faris probably wants the room cleaned up. That's why she called Mayushi. If you'd come alone, you might have given up, right?
Yeah, probably. I was looking at an entirely new structure. It wasn't just something you could clean up. If I'd come alone, I might have just turned tail and run. It would take a team of professional cleaners a full day to clean this thing up. This wouldn't be worth it unless I was getting paid. I wanted to complain, but I was the one who'd asked Faris to let Maho stay here. I had to do it. We're cleaning this room up today. No complaints, okay? It's the lady of the house's orders.
Yeah? I'm not sure I agree, but whatever. Go for it. Okay.
I'll have to call everyone I can think of to come help. Where do I even start?
I know! Mayushi has another brilliant idea! Why don't we get Sergeant Clean to help?
Sergeant Clean? What's that?
Sergeant Clean is very good at cleaning! The messier the room, the stronger their power level grows, they say!
You know... them?
Yep! It's someone you know really well!
Is it my baby boy? I'm calling Luca to come clean? I'm completely down with that one. Huh? Someone I know well? Mayuri brought me to the lab. Or more precisely, the Brawn Tube workshop on the first floor of the building where the lab was. It's adorable every time. Don't care who, doesn't matter who does it. Oh. We're gonna ask Nai to clean with us? Okay. Was not expecting Nai of all people, but...
Hello, Uncle
Mayuri? Is Nai your Sergeant Clean?
Yep, that's right! Nai's really good at cleaning! She cleans the store and her home every day, right?
Do you?
I do! Daddy wipes down the Brawn Tubes every day, but all I do is I do all the rest myself.
Come to think of it, I've never seen any garbage on the floor of the Brawn Tube workshop.
Oh! It's not like Daddy doesn't like cleaning. I just really love it. Whenever I see garbage on the floor, I feel like I have to pick it up. Mommy always used to say the messy room inside of
indicated. I'm a fucking idiot sometimes.
Mommy used to say that a messy room indicated a messy mind.
I see. But why Sergeant Clean? Nai's eyes went wide and her face blushed.
Big Sis Mayuri! I told you not to tell anyone! Sorry, but we need Sergeant Clean's help.
I'm not a sergeant or anything like that. I just get a little excited when I'm cleaning. It's true. I look to be on the verge of tears. Well, a girl her age wouldn't want to be called sergeant, maybe. Hey, Nai? Can you do it? Can you help my Yushi and her friends? You won't call me sergeant anymore? Yep, I won't. Then okay. I'll clean. I want to go to Miss Kitty's house too. Oh, but I won't want to go alone. Don't worry. Everybody will come with you, right, Okarin? Yeah. I'll ask everyone I can find. Okay, I'll go get ready, so wait for me. I'll go home and get the hat. Now I ran off toward the station. The hat? What's she talking about? You'll know soon. Did she have an army hat? Does she have a sergeant's hat? Is that why Sergeant Clean? 30 minutes later, Fubuki, Kaide, and Daru were the ones who answered my call. We met up with Nai and headed to the garbage pit that was Faris's condo had become. And then, Sergeant Clean revealed herself before us. Oh, this is going to be amazing, I can already tell. I am Sergeant Clean, your drill instructor. Listen up! Until this room is clean, you are inchworms! The lowest form of life on the earth! I like how they've changed her title to First Sergeant Tenyoji. I love it. You people are not appliances! You're not worthy of being called vacuum cleaners! You're only good for stretching out and squeezing up on top of a leaf! Because I am hard, you will learn. Okay, let me try that again. Because I am hard, you will not like me. But the more you hate me, the more you will learn. I am hard, but I'm fair. I'm only interested in getting this room sparkling clean. Got it, inchworms! Mayuri? What is it? The hell is that? Nai's personality kind of changes when she cleans, you see. That's not a personality change, she's a totally different person! A cute little lolly reveals herself to be a sadistic sergeant that cusses you out. In our world, that's a good thing. Daru, can it? Oh, she gets nice and filthy once we're done cleaning. Like, now that the room's clean, I'll clean you up. Who said that? Ma'am, I said it, ma'am. No talking! The only words out of your filthy sewer holes will be yes and no! Got it? And you will say Mistress Nai before every word! Got it? Mistress Nai! Yes, Mistress Nai! I can't believe I got a real lolly cussing me out. Ah, today's my lucky day. What are you grinning about? Listen up! From now on, your name is Mr. Smiley Bear! Mistress Nai! Yes, Mistress Nai! You like the name, Mr. Smiley Bear? Mistress Nai! Yes, Mistress Nai! I don't know if it matters, but Mistress Nai, yes, Mistress Nai is really hard to say. What? You've got a problem with that, Mr. Smiley Bear? I'm slowly slipping into, like, Caroline from Persona 5 with this, but I don't give a shit because it's the same personality. Mistress Nye! No, Mistress Nye!
Are you screwing with me, Mr. Smiley Bear?
Mistress Nye! No, Mistress Nye!
Now hop to it, Mr. Smiley Bear. I want to see you wax the floor in the hallway 10 times in the next 30 seconds. Hop to it! Go! 1, 2, 3!
Mistress Nye! Yes, Mistress Nye! Oh, more insults, please. At least one person's enjoying this, I guess.
Maybe we have to look at the Yuki can make it today.
Kaide and Fubuki happened to be in Akihabara, so they'd offered to help, but Yuki had work and couldn't make it. Still concerned about the whole work thing. For the sake of the Hashida family. For the sake of Hashida family's future. I was glad. Maho and Moeka had already given up on trying to match Nice high energy. They were taking time washing the windows on the veranda.
Okay, next! You, the pretty girls! Me? Pretty? You think so? Tell me, why did you join our beloved corps? We just came because we were asked to. Yeah, what's going on here? I'm asking the questions here! And you will answer my questions! Mistress Nye! Yes, Mistress Nye. I'll ask you one more time! Tell me why you volunteered for my corps! Mistress Nye! To clean, Mistress Nye! And let me see your clean face! Mistress Yai!
Mistress Yai?
Mistress Nye! Yes, Mistress Nye! Clean face? Come on, let's go, Kaide! Huh? What? Ain't clean in hell! Fubuki's really getting into this, huh?
Kurashima seems to have a habit of seems to be having a bit of a bad time.
You two! Why are you talking? Take that big turgid black thing down to the garbage dump!
Big turgid black? What?
A garbage bag, right? Yep, that's right. Now get to work! Mistress Nye! Yes, Mistress Nye!
Mistress Nye. Yes, Mistress Nye.
I can't hear you! You think you can clean the room like that? Ah! Put some damn energy into it! Louder!
Okay, that one I might dub over with too.
And the rest of you! If you've got time to grin, you've got time to carry garbage! Once that's done, we're polishing every doorknob in the house until it shines! You will not laugh! You will not cry! You will polish tables! And you will be glad to do it!
The cleaning minute personnel. I love it. And so the sergeant kept us cleaning until late into the night. My god, I need water. I was not prepared to have to scream like Caroline. I think that's the angry one from the Velvet Room. I could be wrong.
Thank you so much for helping today, Nya. I'm so happy, Nya.
I was worried for a while, but thanks to you, I've recovered. I made a special dinner tonight, so please enjoy.
I'd like to ask today's hero, Nye, to do the toast, Nya. Me?
You're the perfect person to do it, Sergeant. It took about half a day, but with nice help, we finished the cleaning. When Kuroki saw the cleaned room, he recovered and made us a huge dinner. Night seemed like a totally different person during the cleaning, but now she was back to normal. Need I remind you, Ocarina, of the fact that she stuck her fingers into your wrist? Like, actually into your wrist. And was just like, yeah, I'ma fucking tear your tendons out. I know Nice not wired up properly, but hey ho, here we are. She was holding a cup filled with orange juice in both hands and happily talking to Kaide. So you can play the piano, Mrs. Kaide? Wow! It's not that special. I'm more interested in music history. I can only play a few things. No, that's amazing! Kaide's modesty was only setting Nai off even more.
Kaide, why not play a song for Mistress Nai? There's a piano right over there.
A small upright piano was in the corner of the living room. It was perfect.
I want to hear the piano. I'm not good enough to play for anyone. I can't play, so I know the piano will be really happy if you used it, Nya.
Of course, I keep it tuned at all times.
I don't know. Okay, but just one song. Yay!
What Mozart's she gonna play? We taking bets? Kaede sat in front of the piano and lifted the cover over the keys.
What should I play?
She seemed happy as she stared at the keys and thought.
Maybe you know this one, Nai. I do! It's the Turkish March! That's right!
Her 10 fingers danced between the black and ivory keys, and a cheerful melody filled the room. She'd been very modest, but it was clear that she'd had a lot of talent. As the song played on, the rest of the group stopped talking and moved to the chairs and sofas around the piano. And then... Maho, you doing okay? Maho, who'd been sitting next to me, suddenly stood up. The sound echoed throughout the room a little louder than she'd thought it would.
I'm sorry. Don't let it bother you. You can all keep talking, okay?
Maho kept standing up as if lost in thought.
Hyojo-san.
Hyojo? Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. I forgot that I had to call to make for work, that's all. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Maho quietly left the room. Hmm? It felt like something was strange. I thought for a moment and then suddenly looked at where she'd been sitting. Hmm? Maho's phone was still on the seat. So she wasn't making a call after all. I was a little worried, so I took her phone and left the living room. The doors of the guest room was open. I peeked inside and saw that Maho was standing in the middle of the room with the lights off. Can I come in? She didn't tell me no, so I went inside and put the phone on the desk. You left it on the chair. Can't make any calls without this, huh?
ありがとう。持っ
Thanks.
てこなかったことすら気づ
I
かな
didn't
か
realize
っ
I'd
たわ。
forgotten it.
よほど動転してしまったのね。
You were really upset, huh?
同点
Upset?
なんなら話し合い
If you want to talk about it, we can.
そうね。
Yeah.
特にどうって話でもないんだけど、
It's not that big a deal,
聞い
but
てもらった方
maybe
が
telling somebody would make me
私
feel
もすっ
better.
きりできるかも。さっきのピアノの曲、
You know the title of that song she was playing?
トルコ行進曲だろ
The Turkish march, right?
そう、
Yeah,
モーツァルトの曲よ。
it's Mozart.
正確には
More precisely, K331, Mozart's Piano Sonata Number 11,
第
third movement.
11番第3楽章。ピアノソナタ第11番は
Sonata Number 11 is three movements. The third, the Turkish March, is the most famous.
第3楽章にあたるトルコ行進曲がとても有名なの。
It's the same one she used to talk about with Kurisu.
だけど、私はどちらかとい
But I
うと
actually like the melody from the
第
first
1
movement
楽章の
more.
静かなメロディーの方が好き。クリスも同じこ
And
とを言って
Kurisu
いた
said she did too.
それはね、
I was
思い出したの。
just remembering that.
岡部さん、アマデウスっていう映画知ってる
Have you heard of a movie called Amadeus?
I wasn't sure how to handle the sudden change of subject.
あらすじくらいなら
I know the basic plot, I guess.
モーツァルトの才能に嫉妬
It's
した
about a musician who was jealous of
音楽家の
Mozart's
話だ
talents, right?
そう、
That's
アン
right,
トニオ・サリエリ。
Antonio Salieri.
映画ではボルフガ
In
ン
the
グ・ア
movie,
マデウ
he's
ス・モ
depicted
ー
as
ツァ
a
ルト
man
によっ
whose
て
life
人
is
生を
ruined
狂
by
わされた
Wolfgang
男と
Amadeus
して描かれてい
Mozart.
る。音楽家としての成功を約束さ
He
れ
had
て
a
いたは
bright
ず
future
な
as a
のに、
musician, but
Mozart's
Mozart's God-given talents made him jealous and drove him to
絶
despair.
望してしまう。自由奔放のモーツァルトの
While
修
everyone
行
else
に
was
みんなが
bewildered by
前を潜
Mozart's
める
strange
中、
antics,
サ
he
リエ
was the
リ
one
だけは
person to see the
彼の
talent
才能を見
underneath.
抜いていた。それこそ、
The
アマデウ
talent
スという
that
名
gave
前
him
の
the
通
name
り、
Amadeus.
神に
beloved
愛
of
された
God.
としか言いようがない。そのサリエリは努力家だったわ。
Salieri was a hard worker,
そんな彼には
and he couldn't handle the fact that Mozart's innate talent brought him fame.
我慢できなかった。そして
And
つい
finally,
にはモーツァルトを追い
he
詰めて
drives
しまう。
Mozart to the brink.
追い詰める
Drives him to the brink?
モーツァルトを生き急がせて、
In the end,
結果的に
he drives
死に
Mozart to
追
his
いやってし
death.
まうの。
映画の話だろ
This is just in the movie, right?
私も詳しくは知らないけど
I、don't really know the details,
でもモーツァルトの死
but I
には
heard there
不
were
審
some
な点がある
strange
し、
circumstances surrounding
毒殺
Mozart's
の可能
death,
性もあった
and
っ
that
て
he
いう
could
話は聞いたことがある。
And that he could, might have been. I'm being dumb.
But I've heard that there were some strange circumstances surrounding Mozart's death, and that he could have been poisoned.
毒を持った犯人がサリエ
There's
リ
a
かもし
theory
れない
that
って
Salieri
ことも
might have poisoned him.
クリスが亡くなった1ヶ月後くらい
And
に
after Kurisu died, the school
大学のネ
networks
ッ
got a
ト
big
ワークが刷
update.
新されることになったの。
Maho jumped to another subject again.
それで署員は
And
全
so we
員
all had to
新しい
pick new
ユーザー名を
usernames.
決めることになった。私は特に考
I
え
picked
も
Salieri
なく
without really
サリエ
thinking
リに
about
し
it.
た。
I wanted it to go with
人
the name
工
of the
知能の
AI,
アマデウスと対
Amadeus.
比としてね。
I knew that. I'd seen her log in once in Wacko City's offices.
けれど
But
もしかしたら
maybe there was more to it than
違う
that.
のかもしれない。
違う
More to it? What do you mean?
私はアマ
Maybe
デ
I
ウスじ
named
ゃな
myself
くて
Salieri not because of
クリ
Amadeus,
ス自身との対
but
比と
because
し
of
て
Kurisu.
自分にサリエリと名付けたのかもしれない。私にとって
To me, Kurisu
Kurisu
was Amadeus.
アマデウスだった。
In other words, Maho recognized Kurisu's talent more than anyone, and at the same time she was more jealous of her than anyone else in the world. Just like Salieri.
ヒヤジョさん
Here's Joe. I didn't know what to say. I could see Maho's shoulders shaking a little. And then... Both Maho and I turned to the direction of the noise. Moeko was standing outside the door, looking troubled.
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
いいのよ、気にしないで。
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
どうかしたのかしら。
What's up?
天王寺さんをそろそ
We
ろ
need to get
帰らせないと。
Tenyoji back home.
そうだな。
You're right.
俺が送っていく
I'll walk her home. Just give me a
ちょっと待
second.
っててね。
ヒア城さん、
Yujo?
大丈夫？
You okay?
え？
Huh?
辛そうな
You
顔をしてい
you
るから。
look like you're in pain.
ええ、大丈夫。
Yeah, I'm fine.
こんなに体を動かしたの久しぶ
I
り
just
だか
haven't
ら。
moved around like this in a long time,
ちょっと疲れちゃ
so
ったのかも。
maybe I'm a little tired.
そう、
I see.
それなら
Okay. I guess.
それじゃ。
See you later.
Moeka went back to the living room. That was a surprise. I'd never seen Moeka talk so much before. I'd never seen her talk to that much in any world line, actually. And what's more, she'd been able to read Maho's exact expression and even worry about her. Maybe living with Maho was having an effect on her.
ごめんなさい、岡部さん。さっきの
Sorry,
話は忘れて。
Forget what I just said.
Huh?
わかった。
Okay, sure.
聞いてくれてありがとう。
Thanks for listening.
これぐらいでよければ。
Anytime, I guess. Maho smiled a little and left the room.
まゆりお姉ちゃん、次は
Big Sis Mayuri, let's go there next. Okay, let's go. Ready, start. Yay, I win.
私の勝ち。
Oh, I lost. You win so fast, Nai.
結構早いね。
Well, she is military, Mayuri, let's be real.
二人とも暗いから。
Both of you, it's not safe to run when it's this dark.
そうだよ。
It's fine, right? Right?
It was getting late, so the cleaning party ended as soon as Nai left. It was Mayuri and I who had gone to get Sergeant Clean's help, so we were responsible for getting her back to the Brawn Tube workshop. Oddly enough, Maho said she wanted to take a walk and came along with us.
じゃあ次は
Okay, next we race to that store.
よーし。
All right.
よし。
You she won't lose this time. Ready? Start.
Sheesh. Nai was more excited than usual. Was it because of all the praise that everyone had showed on Sergeant Clean?
どうしたか。
What is it?
いいえ。岡部さんの
No,
そういう顔。
it's just I've never seen
初
you
め
make
て見
that
たかも
face
と
is
思
all.
って。
どういう顔だ。
What face?
なんていうのかしら。
I don't know.
緊張してない
Like you're not
リラッ
nervous.
クスしてる。
Like you're relaxed.
初めて会った時から
You always
あ
seem
な
like
た
you
は
were
常
really
に
tense ever
意
since
識
we
を張り
first
詰め
met.
ているような感じがしたから。
そうかな。自分では意識してなか
I
った。
never realized it. At this time of night, most shops on the main road of Akihabara were starting to close, and there was no one around at all. The only ones walking down the alley at this hour are us four. That sounds mildly problematic. I looked up and could just barely see the stars past the clear winter sky.
なあ、ヒヤジョウさん。
Hey, Hijo. There's something I need to tell
俺
you.
は君に言わなきゃならないことがあるんだ。クリスの。
About Kurisu.
クリスは
Kurisu was... As I was about to tell her, I could see Nai run across the intersection. Suddenly, a black van with its headlights off leapt out of the side street and almost ran over Nai. Yeah! Watch out! Oh god, no. Are we about to witness the death of Mayuri? Again? Nai just barely avoided being run over, but she fell butt first onto the ground. Mayuri ran over to her. I warned you! I went to run over to Nai and realized that something was wrong. The black van's doors opened and 3 people got out. 2 were wearing masks and 1 was wearing a full-face helmet. Oh, for the love of fuck, here we go with this again. All of them had guns. Well, they're American, I think. They were speaking in English. What? The time and place were different. But this was the same thing I'd seen before. Why? The flashback froze me in place. The people with the guns ignored Mayuri and Nai. They came straight for me and Maho. I decided they have to be after one of us. Run! I forced myself out of the flashback and grabbed Maho's arm, trying to force her to run. But... just run! I pushed her hard. Maho had a look of terror and confusion on her face, but she did what I told her and started to run. She ran down a narrow alleyway and vanished from sight. It's a bit late for that. The attackers seemed to be after Maho, not me. They tried to follow her down the alleyway. But I quickly threw myself between them. I heard gunshots echo in the dark alleyway, and Mayuri and Nai screamed. Did they shoot? The attacker in the full-face helmet had fired a warning shot into the sky, it looked like. Firing a gun on Tokyo Street was sure to get the police's attention. Did they just not care? I looked closer and realized that in addition to their black helmet, they were wearing black motorcycle suit. At a glance, I could tell the wearer was a woman. Gee, what gave that away? A woman. The black face mask kept me from seeing her face, but... was it Moeka? No, that was impossible. She should have been at Faris's right now. The woman stood in front of me without a word. You after Hyejo? They were after Maho. I wasn't sure if it was a good idea to let her escape or not. The woman in the motorcycle suit kept her gaze locked on me at all times as she gave another order to the 2 men. Gave the other 2 men hand signals. They headed for the alleyway that Maho had used, with their guns at the ready. Wait! I yelled, but I hesitated to do anything more. Those bulky guys would catch up with Maho almost immediately. If I resisted, I'd put not only my own life in danger, but Mayuri and Nai's as well. Damn it. Please get away, Maho. I prayed as I watched the attackers run down the alley. Suddenly, one of them came flying back out of the alley. Please, Moeka, you're a godsend. Never would I thought I'd be happy to see Moeka. She's really grown on me in this arc. The other was crawling backwards with his gaze locked on whatever lurked in the alley's rear. It was as if he would run into a bear. Someone was in that alley. Who? Suzuha?
Oi!
How long have you been here, Tenyoji? Just a quick question. So, the hell is going on here? A large, muscular man appeared from the alleyway. It was Yugo Tenyoji. Had he come all the way from his shop? I came to see why Nai was late. So, hurt my daughter, will you? You're gonna regret that. Pull back. I could hear the woman in the motorcycle suit shout from within her helmet. Reyes? If that's like the one thing that my brain instantly jumped to with her speaking English, this one's probably Reyes if she's operating with the secret thingy. You know, just spouting bullshit. Then again, when I do that, sometimes I'm right. So, let's keep going, shall we? She must have been using a radio. It was the order to retreat. She made a fast call. She was probably a professional. The van started to pull away with its door still open. The driver must have still been inside. Mayuri and Nai were both still sitting on the ground, but evidently they were okay. The woman in the motorcycle suit turned around and tried to escape using another alleyway. Wait! I chased after her, but she suddenly spun around and hit me with the stock of her gun. Fucking ow. It was so sudden that I didn't have a chance to dodge, so I took the blow right to my jaw. Also, I've just noticed my mouse is on screen. My bad. I fell to the ground. I couldn't move. Okarin! I just hope Maho made it away okay. That was my only thought before I passed out.